Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Barnhard in All Writers Welcome, the ultimate writing group. And I'm going to chat today about secrets to smarter revising. And I've intentionally used the word smarter revising because I really think it's important when you're working on a project as big and as um, uh, work intensive as a book that you don't make yourself work harder than you have to, right? You're going to be working hard. Writing is hard work. But if you do things with a plan of attack and a smart approach, you're not going to end up putting more effort in than you need to. And I think that's really important, so you don't drain yourself. All right. So from my perspective, there are 7 secrets to smarter revising, and I want to share those with you today. And I also want to invite anybody who's watching to pose a question or to throw a comment into the mix, so we can hear from other people what your secrets are to smarter revising, or maybe where you get stuck revising. Let me know that too. So the very first thing that is so fundamental to smarter revising is to make a new document. I work in Google Docs. It's just where I feel most comfortable. I love that it's auto-saving every few seconds. Of course, if I am smart and remember to do it, I also download periodically so that, if Google ever lost my work, I would still have it. But that's where I love to write. So I make a brand new doc when I'm ready to start revising. The reason I do this is because it frees me up to be my boldest self. If I'm worried about making a change and then going, oh no, I actually liked it the way it was before, I don't revise boldly. I do what I call meek tweaks. I'm just, really rearranging small items. If I make a whole new doc, then it lifts that weight from me that makes me worry about losing what I had, right? Because there's this kind of feeling of something is better than nothing. And even if it's not great, at least it's there. If I make a whole new doc, I lose that fear. So my first secret is make a copy. After you've made a copy, you still might find you have that feeling of like, I don't want to lose this because it really is good. But there's a voice telling you that section doesn't belong anymore. The second secret to smarter revising is store your writing. When you get to closing time at a bar or restaurant and they tell you, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Think of your words in that way. Think of your writing in that way. It doesn't belong in your story. You're getting that message loud and clear from, the part of you that really knows what's best for your story or for your book, for nonfiction. But then you're looking at this passage you wrote and you're like, oh, but the description was fantastic, or I really loved the tone I got there, or that's just the best dialogue I've ever written. If you store it, you still have it. So it again just frees up your thinking. You're not losing it. Don't delete it. Just copy and paste. And you have to figure out, there's a balance. I admit to being a word hoarder. I have sometimes just had to go through and delete whole documents because I'm saving stuff that I'm not saving stuff because it's good. I'm saving stuff just because I had it and I didn't want to throw it away. So there is a balance there. Use your best judgment, but store stuff. Okay. So that's the second secret. If you do that second secret, that means you get to do the third secret of smarter revising, which is you get to steal from yourself. And all of the best artists steal from themselves. In fact, I really enjoy when you read an author and you can see how a kernel of an idea that was in one book got fully fleshed out in another book. You hear this in music as well. I'm a huge fan of the musician Andrew Bird. And over the years, he's taken the same idea for a song and evolved it into completely new iterations. And it's just so cool because I feel like I'm in touch with his process as an artist a little bit, where I get a kind of a behind the scenes sneak peek. But you get to steal from yourself if you stored. And the reason that's helpful for revising is because when you launch your revising process, you can actually go back to your storage document or your storage folder, however you're keeping things, whether you just lump all of the stored material into one doc or you make separate docs so you know where things came from and just put in one storage folder. You can peruse that and remind yourself of what you've done previously that you loved and that was a really great approach, but that just didn't end up in that story. And of course, you can also steal for other projects. Maybe there's one line that sparks a whole free write or a description that sparks a whole new story. So that's one of the huge advantages, not just for revising, but for your writing practice in general. All right, so that's the third secret. The fourth secret is really the core of revising, the way I revise and the way I coach people to revise, and that is to annotate. So again, I love working in Google Docs, but you can annotate in Word, you can annotate in any program that has like a review view, because really what you're going to do is going and doing is putting in comments. You can even print out your book, your first draft, and do your comments in the margin. So it's whatever floats your boat. But the point of annotating is that before you start rearranging things and doing the work of, because it's hard work to revise and to really get things the way you want them, you're setting goals. Because as you're reading through and annotating, you're posing questions to yourself. You're saying, wait, does it make sense for this to happen here? Should it happen later? You can assign yourself tasks, right? Look up, could this really happen? Maybe there's more research that you need to do, or maybe just more research in your own story. If you're writing a long novel, right? Sometimes you forget by, chapter 7, how did these two people meet again? Go back and check that. So, and then you can also make comments about things that just aren't sitting right with you. Oh, this feels like the wrong tone. Or I was revising recently on a story and I realized that like by chapter 3, I had escalated the conflict way too much. There was still a lot of rising action that had to occur before the climax. And chapter 3 kind of exploded with conflict. And then chapter 4, things were normal again. So I just put a comment there to myself, this is too soon for things to get this bad between these two characters. And then the further comment I made to myself was, gosh, I got to get back in and basically map out what the steps of the conflict are, map out my rising action. So that's a really practical step. So annotating is the biggest part. If there's only one secret that you use, well, there's only one, it should be the copy. Make a new doc. But if there's only 2, make a new doc and then annotate so that you know where you're going. All right, so that is secret number 4, annotate. Secret number 5 is go slow when you revise. And I know it should be go slowly, but sometimes rhyming is more important than grammar, in my opinion. And this is one of those times. If you have annotated, and if you then move through each of those annotations, not necessarily in order, but until each one is done, think about what you're doing. You're actually taking your draft to the next stage of the writing process. If you just dabble, if you try to address things really quickly, if you don't take the time to solve the problem you discovered when you annotated, then you're going to be revising for a long time, and that's going to be really frustrating. If you move slowly enough that you actually take the time to solve a problem, then you can have the satisfaction of checking that off your list. And don't underestimate the power of checking things off your list when you are writing a book. For those of you who have several books published, you just know how much an investment of time and energy it is, and that there's a certain point where you go, why am I doing this? And somebody stop me now because this is too much work. It's crazy. So whatever you can do to keep yourself motivated and seeing concretely, hey, I'm making progress, is really great. Yes, and the comment about annotating was that you can keep moving through the document without stopping and being too hard on yourself. Absolutely. And also without getting completely waylaid. Because imagine if I say, well, I'm just going to start revising and I'm going to start at the beginning, and I go to my opening scene and I don't know what to do with my opening scene, then I'm stuck, right? Like if it turns out I come to a hard part, if I'm trying to revise as I go instead of annotating and giving myself a recipe for revising, then it's easy to get stuck, and I'll stop, and I probably won't want to come back because I'll know I'm in that rut. I'm in that stuck place. Or yeah, maybe I'll want to jump around, but I'll just kind of have that lack of motivation because I know I haven't addressed that. Yeah, so that's a really important part. Okay, so going slow is secret number 5. Secret number 6 is rinse and repeat. That's right. Once you have made it through all of the annotations you had in your second draft, of course, you're going to go and make a copy and make a third draft and start the whole process over with annotating, and then, applying all of the other secrets. And for some people, that's really discouraging news. So here's what I want to invite you to do. Flip the script. Instead of thinking, I'm revising and this is only getting me to my second draft and then I'll have to do a third and on from there. Focus on the fact that you get, not you have to, you get to revise as many times as you want. And what that means is each revision doesn't have to be a sparkling jewel of wonderfulness. You can revise and you address what you have in your notes. So for example, maybe I fix the conflict I had in chapter 3 so that the characters don't have such a big blow up. But the way I fixed it, some of the language is still clumsy. That's okay, right? One thing at a time. So I worked on the plot and the rising action sequence, got that nailed down, but I've still got a couple sentences that feel a little bit awkward. I'm going to save those for my next draft because I'm going to give myself credit for solving the problems that I've solved. So that's really powerful if you flip the switch. Not I have to spend this much more time revising, but I get to have as many drafts as I need to and as I want to. All right, so that's secret 6, rinse and repeat. Secret 7 is to use active rest. If you have ever gone to the gym and alternated cardio and weightlifting, you have done active rest. If you've ever been going through your workday and got stuck and you returned an email, you're working on a project and it's just not going anywhere and you stop and you return an email you have to return, you have done active rest. Active rest means that when you come up to a stuck place in a project, you do something else. But there's a difference between active rest and vegging out. If you are revising and you active rest, it means your brain is still going, right? So it could look like working on another part of your story. Sometimes it does look like walking away. But when you walk away, make sure you're not doing something that puts your brain into unconsciousness. You don't want to walk away and watch TV. You can walk away and weed the garden, or walk away and wash dishes, or walk away and take a walk. And in fact, if you can muster the energy to take a walk, then you can be that crazy person in your neighborhood who walks around talking to herself and working out your story, or talking to a voice recorder and going, okay, wait, so if Calica's going to get mad at Tabby for not dancing well, then what's going to happen when Marmalade comes in? And these are the characters from my kids' story. Dancing cats compete, by the way. But if you can walk away, but still let your mind work on the problem a little bit, you'll be much better off than if you do something like watching TV or disengaging in a complete way. All right, so that's using active rest. Those are my favorite ways to make revising a smarter process. I don't think it's ever an easy process. I think it is always a challenge. But again, my hope for you, my goal for you is that you get to put in energy that gives you results. I don't want for you that you put in energy that isn't working. I don't want you to have an experience of futility. All right. If you have any questions about these secrets, or if you want to share some of your own secrets, please, please, please throw them into the comments. And I will talk with you all later, but that is it for today. All right. Bye-bye.